so I'm going to start.
Pete, we couldn't find your name tag.
Yeah, I know.
It's better that you sit down now rather than have a name tag.
Make one up. Okay.
Sure.
We know who you are.
I'm Peter Ash, Sergeant at Arms. Welcome to our weekly Toastmaster meeting. If you have one of these gizmos, please put it into vibrator silent mode so you don't embarrass yourself and disturb everybody. It's my pleasure to introduce Scott Stolze.
You got it.
And Scott, would you stand and tell us how you come to be here, where you're from, what you're trying to get out of Toastmasters?
Sure. So hello and good to see everybody. My name is Scott Stolze, and I recently met Rob at an event in Boston, a Boston Speaks event a few weeks ago, Speak of the Devils, Boston Speaks. I'm a career coach, I'm a career development coach, and I used to be petrified of speaking in front of people. So a year ago, and I mean, I've been good for several years now. I worked in corporate for 18 years, but 10 and even as recently as 5 years ago, I would be very nervous speaking in front of groups, usually peers and colleagues. So I always have been interested in Toastmasters. I went to a couple of meetings when I lived in Arizona, but I never followed up and pursued it. And I'm not necessarily looking for that now, but when I hear or meet people like Rob who tell me about Toastmasters, their involvement, it just triggers something in me because of my past struggles, and I'm very comfortable. I've had coaching with speaking, and it's helped me a lot. But I enjoy coming by a meeting like this and introducing myself and meeting new people.
Thank you, Scott. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce our Toastmaster for today, Mary Alice Richardson. Mary Alice.
Thank you, Peter. Good morning, good noon. Today's theme is influential books. And what I mean by influential is books that for one reason or another mean a lot to you and to me personally. The book I'm recommending is David Byrne's Feeling Good, the New Mood Therapy. I think it came out in the 80s. I read it 3 times before I ever did any of the written exercises in it. When I did the written exercises, my goodness, it was revelatory. The theory behind it is cognitive behavioral therapy. The idea is that feelings are caused by thoughts. Bad feelings are caused by negative, distorted thoughts. What you do, in a nutshell, is you identify the thought that's behind the feeling you're experiencing. And the thought may be something as dumb and ridiculous as, I'm a failure. It's obvious what the distortions are in thought like that. But what you do is write down all the reasons why you're not a failure, all the many good, true reasons. And then you read over what you've written. Amazingly, the depression or the anxiety is lifted. You feel a whole lot better and it's immediate. It's like magic in my experience. The first item on our agenda today is the President's message. Rob told me about a book that he highly recommends, and the name of it is Eleanor Oliphant is Just Fine. And Rob, why don't you tell why you recommend this book?
Mary Alice? Mary Alice? Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. You can clap now. Welcome, Scott. Glad you're here. And I'll tell you why I think the book Eleanor Oliphant is Just Fine is so inspiring to me. I tend toward not being able to tell jokes through rehearsal, but I do feel comfortable in the moment making things up. The book enabled me to read out loud somebody else's work in front of my sweetheart, and the amount of laughter that we got really was terrific. So if you want something lighthearted that you and your sweetheart might enjoy, Eleanor Oliphant is Just Fine. This leads me to the President's message, which is Lexington Toastmasters is just fine. We are awesome, and whether we have quirks, whether we have things that don't go quite as smoothly as planned, whether we're paying attention and respecting the speaker or not, whether we're having side conversations that some people might think are rude, or whether one or more among us is being perceived as salesy or pitching themselves. I'm reminded of our past president. His name is Bill Singer, and Bill and I and other people continue to try to cultivate a club that feels safe and respectful. It's a lot of work. We have a lot of people, a lot of different points of view. When we were at the old location in Lexington Center, we had something called a no sales policy. So I'm here just to refresh and remind all of us that if you have a product, if you have a book, if you have something that you want to sell, if you're having a gathering, you want to make sure that nobody in the club ever, even a twinge, feels pressure, like you're supposed to buy it or you're supposed to attend. So we have lots of ways in which we communicate. We have official email announcements, and we have what's going on right now, an official meeting. Those are the two times where you want to completely avoid, even if it's just a misunderstanding, you want to err on the side of no sales, no mention. Now, that being said, today Chris and I are going to lunch, and we want everybody to join us, because at lunch, when we're away from here, we're free to say whatever we want. And we'd like to continue the warmth, the connection, and the community. Madam Toastmaster?
Thank you.